Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines and welcome back to the city of San Miguel. In today's episode we're going to be talking about setting up a new district, a new residential district. To do so we're gonna create a new road network in this area right here. How should we start doing this? We're going to start by setting up an intersection of the highway. As you can see, I already took care of destroying some of the highway over here as I was planning out where I'm going to put this district. So we are going to start off, as I was saying, by placing an intersection. We're using Timbo's trumpet intersection, a B trumpet intersection, which is a beautiful intersection in my opinion. So let's create the highway again. Reconnect this, reconnect that. And here, then we're gonna extend this a little bit. There we go. We had to modify it a little bit because it was glitching out a little bit, but now we have our on and off ramp to the highway. And here we'll transform the road into a regular 6-lane road. To do so, we're gonna use the same technique that we used previously over here with the highway roundabout, or at least what I like to call the highway roundabout. But we're going to keep it more simple this time. We're just going to do this. It's a little pretty much highway U-turn, and off this U-turn in the center will come off. No, that doesn't work, so never mind. We are going to do, once again, a little bit of a roundabout on the highway. Now to do this roundabout, I used 3 units sections of a curved road to get it the right size. I just need to move these around the right direction, and there we go. We have our way on and off the highway. This is my preferred method. I've used it before over here, and it is very good traffic-wise. Of this main path, we're going to set down a 3-lane road. 3-lane on each side, so 6-lane total main avenue. This main avenue we're gonna keep straight for the time being. Then we are going to curve down to the coast. One thing that you need to keep in mind when making your residential areas, to make them look more realistic, you want them to follow the terrain. In our case here we have a coastline, so we're gonna follow this coastline to make a beautiful residential zone that will follow the coast. Something that will be interesting to do is to reconnect it to the other zone in order for people to be able to travel from one to the other more easily. Now for this residential zone, we want to keep it very organic. We don't want to go for too much of a grid layout, but we're going to switch it up. Here we did something very round focused, so here we're going to keep it organic, but slightly more organized and more geometric is the word I'm looking for. So we don't want it to be fully a grid, but we also want it to have a regular shape. So we're going to follow the highway here because I want the residential zone to go all the way to the highway. So we'll do this. There's going to be a 6-lane road this way. Then we will follow the shape of the highway for just a bit. So straight line in this direction. And then we're going to have to curve back towards the other district in this direction. This is going to be the peripheral road that's going to allow the traffic to flow smoothly all around. We'll also go close to the university because as the university grows, it's going to be the main focus of this little triangular area that will be between the two of them. And once again, we're going to reconnect to this zone, and this middle road here, which I will upgrade to a road with trees, shall be our connecting point between the two. Obviously, this new district is much bigger than the first one, but that is okay because we need our population to go up. You then, after having placed your main artery roads, you want to place your 4-lane roads, which will serve as connecting roads between the different neighborhoods. I'm going to place one this way here that will go between the two curves. By that I mean this turn and this turn. So that will be a nice little district of the city. Then we want to have another one going off in this direction. I want a 90-degree bend over here on this edge. That's not quite 90 degrees. How do I get 90 degrees here? Let's say we start over here and then go like that. There we go. That will be another sector of the city. Then we want another one to go down this way. And actually, here's what we're going to do. In the middle of this city, I want to have a big central park. And when I say Central Park, I mean in the center, but also like Central Park in New York. I want a big green area right downtown in the middle. So we're going to reserve a space for that right away. How many units did I make this large? This 20 units. So we'll go 20 units this way, 40 units down, and there you go. So we have a big square that will be a park right in the middle. And then we shall keep going south like this. And everything's gonna branch out from this big major central focus point of the city. Then we also want on the other side to have a big major road. I want to line it up with this here. If I go like that, and then this in the middle, that's not quite straight. So let me bring this back down a bit. Keep this one more focused this way, and then hopefully from around here we'll be able to join that one intersection. I'm trying to limit the total number of intersections. There you go, like this. So we have our different quadrants that all revolve around this central area. Now let's place our roads in the center. We will make use of lots of one-way roads to keep the traffic more friendly. So we'll have first regular roads that follow the geometric shape. And once those have set in the middle here, we will put our one-way roads. I want to keep a lot of open space between the buildings to be able to have walking paths and also to have a more open feel to the city. Then we do something similar in each quadrant. This quadrant here, I'm keeping a little bit more grid-like in this first part, but in the second part here, we'll have more other forms of roads. I'm thinking maybe we'll have little triangular grids. Now, something to keep in mind is that in this region, I'm going to have lots of high-density buildings. So I want to make sure that the traffic flows pretty well. So I don't want too many intersections where cars are going to cross each other. This quadrant up here, where I'm currently building, is going to be offices. I've decided that we needed more offices. So this is what's going to be over here. So we want to keep this fairly geometric as well. Fairly grid-like as well, I mean. Sorry about that. Okay, guys, let me explain to you what I have done in this layout. We have 4 main quadrants around this central park area. Well, what will be a central park. We have this first quadrant here, which will be offices. Then we have the other 3 that are going to be residential. We have this big quadrant on top, which will be commercial. And we have this quadrant, which for now will be unused, but we have space to expand in the future. The residential quadrants I've kept a little bit more organic while keeping a grid system. I've used lots of one-way roads. Hopefully I set up a good traffic flow. That will evolve as time goes, and as we zone things, we will know how the traffic works better. But for now, that is what we have as our first road network layout. We have the main external road, which provides the main way for people to go throughout the grid, the layout. We have big roads in the center that spread the traffic out, and then within each quadrant we have small roads which will have less traffic, at least hopefully. The second thing we want to set up at this point is our walking paths. So I will go through right now and set up walking paths between different areas to hopefully encourage people to walk everywhere. Particularly important place to put a walking path is from areas that will be connecting the residential area to the commercial zones. I recommend that you turn off all the snaps when placing down walking paths because it will make your life much easier. Okay, I currently set up a lot of the walking path. We then need to set up the public transportation. The first one we're going to use is the metro because we already have a metro going in the rest of our city, so this will be able to allow us to quickly set up the metro from here to the rest of the city. We want at least one metro line close to the office buildings. We'll put it here next to this walking path so that people can more easily access it. We shall also put one on the other side of the city around here in this residential zone. Finally, we want a metro station in our commercial district. And that should be it for now. We then need to connect them with our trusty metro lines. Now remember, to make it seem a little bit more realistic, keep your metro lines very curved. That makes it look better. Curve up this way, then curve into here so that they connect in a relatively good way. That's fairly straight actually, but it seemed to be the only way to get them connected. Then from here we shall join the university campus, which will be our connection into the rest of the city. We shall now set up the metro lines. So we have one line leaving this area, going into the office zone and into the campus. The train shall then return the other way, stop back here, go to the commercial district, and then circle back around to the last. To be able to do that, we actually need to add a small loop around here, which will allow the metro to loop back around. There we go. Now they're able to loop around back home. We are going to add a total of 4 vehicles here because I believe this will be a very used line. Before I press play, I want to set up my other transportation lines. Now we don't have much in lieu of transportation at this time. We have the cable car and the monorail. So something we might want to do actually is to set up a monorail around here. I don't have a monorail yet in my city, but I'm going to change all of these around the center of the park to a monorail station line. Let's add the stations. And what we may do actually is set up a monorail on this side. Now, can the monorail go along pathways? Doesn't seem like they can, but we have roads around here. So what we may do is the monorail will add a road around this end of the campus. And from here, we'll be able to set up a monorail station. That way we connect the campus to the monorail. And there we go. We have a monorail station. We then want to connect this monorail to the pre-existing one we have here. And there we go. And from there, we need to remember to add walking paths. That way people can walk from the station easily down to the rest of the university. So now that we have all our stations set up, we can set up our lines. So we'll have a line that goes all the way around. Then we have another line going from here. Oops. Create a new line. There we go. From here to here, to then here, and then back, and back again. And we'll even have an express line going from this first one all the way to the last one and back. That one won't stop in between. It'll be for people really wanting to go to the university, and that is it. In the future, we'll have more connections going into the rest of the city, but since I still need to set those up, we will leave it here for now, for the monorail. Do we want the bus? I think we'll want the bus, but maybe in a future time. For now, we are going to want to set up the utilities for everybody. So we're going to have the school. The school is actually going to go in what was reserved as my office area. I feel like it's a good place to put the schools. We shall then set up our parks. The first thing we'll set up is the park main gate here for what will be our center park, and this won't line up perfectly in the middle and is going to bother me a lot. So maybe you can do the small park gate. No, it still doesn't line up in the middle. What if I can line it up here? Not quite. So I'll actually have it, the entrance, be over here. But we also want our regular parks. So first, the Paradox Plaza, which I use very often. One will go here, then we'll put another one somewhere up here. Let us also use the playground, maybe, no, the botanical garden. We'll put one botanical garden over here. And we'll place another here. I want the Zen garden, or Japanese garden, which I use very often as well. It's one of my preferred parks. We'll put a couple of those since they're fairly small and should blend in very well. There we go. Do we want any other parks or gardens? What is this? The small park. We might want to do a small park. Maybe here of this main road. Oh, that doesn't quite fit. How about the dog park? Yes, the dog park does fit here. So we'll have a dog park right off this road here. And that should be good for now. We also want to set up our utilities, of course. So let me set that up really quick. Okay, we now have water everywhere. Electricity will depend a lot on where our buildings are first going to be built. So I think we are done, ready to zone. No, before we do that, we need to set up fire stations and police stations. I'm going to put them down here at the bottom. I'm going to put a large one so it covers the whole area. Actually, we're going to put it up here in the commercial district of what will be the commercial district, one in front of each other, as I usually do. All the trash should be collected from our current system that we have going up here. I will put an extra one because we very soon will have more people. So we'll have 5 recycling centers, which should be able to take care of everything. Am I missing anything? We have schools. So we may want to put some couple public libraries just for fun, because those are always useful. And that's it, I think. I think we're going to be able to start zoning. But before we start zoning, like I just said, we're going to set up districts. These districts will allow us to put policies that will decide what we want to do. And importantly, one of the policies I want to set up in some of these districts, especially the 2 down here, we're going to set up high density but no high rise. Actually, I want these to be the same district. They'll have the same policies anyways, so it'll be faster to just have one big district. This one over here will be different and will allow high rises, just for some variation, you know. And then this is an office district, so it's obviously going to be different with its own policies. And finally, up here we have our commercial district, which has its own problems and policies. So we're going to start with our lower district. If we go to policies here, I'm going to put a ban on high rises, which is here, high-rise ban, just for this one. Make sure that it didn't go into the other ones. Yes, it doesn't. Heavy traffic ban. And that should be it for now. Then we have our regular ones, education boost, recreational. Education is actually not in this district, so we don't need that. That should be it for now. Smoking ban, which reminds me, I did not actually put any health services in here. So we're actually going to set up a hospital. The hospital will go in the commercial district up here as well. And now we are finally able to zone. I'm gonna start zoning on this edge over here. That way we can hopefully get some electricity from that side. We're gonna zone a little bit at a time to begin with. And a little bit, I mean still all of this. But I don't want my demand to crash and stuff to be built in a bunch of different areas that are not connected. So we have finally pressed play and we're gonna watch this start being built. There we go. We have our first few buildings going up. Now, contrary to this area, which has green buildings and self-sustaining, I did not set this policy over here, so we're going to have regular-looking buildings for some variation. As these first get built, I'm also going to start building some commercial up here, as we still have a pretty strong demand for commercial. By the way, while we watch this all be built, I want to thank everyone for your support on this series. Thank you very much for watching. It means a lot when you guys like the video and comment, and just watch the video. So if you're enjoying it, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, make sure to comment. In the comments you can put down below your suggestions for the name of districts. For example, and for the name of parks, we need a name for this brand new park that we have. So things like that. It's always appreciated to have your input on the game. Now this district is going to be huge, as you can see, and will help increase our population by a lot, even though we've already killed our residential demand just with this little bit. This is going to be more long term of building it all. It's obviously not going to happen all at once. Now electricity, as I said, this connected, but these didn't end up connecting, so we're gonna have to do that ourselves. Also, it seems like we need water for this little guy, and we're slowly but surely going to keep expanding this district, which is going to need a name. So if you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comment. However, to see this district be filled, you will have to subscribe and come back to the next video where we're gonna keep expanding, because we are going to leave it off here for today. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We did a lot of progress today in terms of setting up the next part of our map, but thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys all in the next episode of Cities Skylines.